Today I'm going to be doing an extra long full set with the double tip method. Here you see me filing the nail tips, and I'm going to stop the camera so you can see the angle that the file needs to be held at. I did not create that technique myself. I got it from another YouTuber. I will link her in the description box below. But basically you're holding the file at a 90-degree angle, keeping it as straight as possible, and moving it back and forth toward the client and then towards you. Just trying to keep that really crisp shape. I really love the way this set turned out. So I say that technique is a winner. I'm going to repeat that method on every nail, and I'm also going to hold the file vertically to make the ends straight. A lot of people go back and forth. I prefer to go up and down when I am filing the free edge, just to make sure it's straight. And at the end, I always turn the client's hand facing towards me so I can see what they see. After I get done filing the nail tips, it's time to prep. I always spray with 99% alcohol, and I wipe with paper towel to get any dust or residue off of the nail plate after I've already roughed up the nail surface with a sanding band, medium grit sanding band. Next, I'm going to add primer to each nail. I only add a little bit because you don't want to get primer on the skin. This is an acid-based primer, so it can cause burns or irritation if you let it touch the skin, or if too much of it touches the client's skin. So just be very careful when using it. And now for application, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Valentino colored powder in the color Exposed. I will put a link to this product in the description box below. You do need to create an account to purchase Valentino products on their website. Just letting you know that ahead of time. And this set will be all pink except for 2 accent nails. For our accent nail, we're going to be still using that same Valentino pink that we used for the other nails. Also going to use a little bit of black and some Glitterbel's liquid gold and a few gold leaf flakes. When you're creating a marble look on a nail, the goal is to have it look just like how marble is in real life, where things are variable. No 2 nails are going to look alike, so you want to put your acrylic on the nail a little bit runny so you can drag your brush through it and make that cool marbleized design. And I'm just adding random pieces of gold foil throughout this design, just to give it more interest and depth. I do always cap my encapsulations in clear, so it just gives it a really polished look when you have different layers of things in an encapsulated nail. I usually put clear on the natural nail first before I start laying down my colored acrylics when I'm doing an encapsulation, but in this case, I kind of forgot to do it. So it's no biggie. I just went ahead and did it anyway after the fact, and the nail came out great anyway, but just an FYI, I would advise to use the clear first and then start putting your colors on. And now I'm going to cap the nail in clear. I'm using Young Nail Speed Clear. It dries a lot faster than their Core Clear or most standard clear powders. So just be aware of that if you do purchase it. I am going to put a link in the description box so you can see what it looks like and read reviews, etc. And I'm just going to finish up the rest of the nails in that same pink that I got from Valentino and exposed. I want to say when you're doing your application, you will get comfortable with certain brands and you will find out what ratio you need to use for certain brands. I use a universal monomer, so it kind of is compatible with every brand of powder. However, all powders are not created equal, so you will have different results with different powders. You just need to find the ratio that's going to work for you and make the product easy to work with. This is a great shot of my application. It's a great overhead shot that shows you exactly what I'm doing when I lay acrylic. I tend to start further up and I push it up so I don't waste as much product. This particular powder, I've noticed I need to work with it a little more runny to get it to cooperate. So I tend to push it back towards the cuticle to keep from wasting product and having a lot of it fall off of the nail, because it will run down the nail due to the consistency. I place my second bead in the same way. This one, since this is an extra long set, will be right where the nail tip and the natural nail meet. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to push it up a little bit, and I'm just patting and lightly feathering the edge of the bead into the first bead and continuing to pat and shape the top of the nail. I always wipe the sides a lot when I do a full set, because I feel like it helps me maintain that coffin shape or that tapered square shape. I do use multiple beads depending on what I'm doing. This nail is super long, so there is no way to do one bead or even two or sometimes even three. And don't let it stress you out if you use more than a few beads. Whatever you need to do to make sure you have a strong nail that looks amazing, just do that. So don't be hung up on people who, can do a full set in 30 minutes and they use one bead no matter how long the nails are, or they use a huge brush or any of that. Do what works for you. When you're working with a runnier powder, getting a clean cuticle area is a little tricky, which is why you see me concentrating mostly on patting the sides of that bead that I placed at the cuticle. You're going to want to take a smaller amount of product just so you can have better control over it. You may even need to switch to a smaller brush when you do your cuticle application, though I typically don't do that because that's really just extra work. And as you can see, there's something was stuck in the acrylic, so I just had to get it out of there with my brush. If that ever happens to you, acrylic takes a couple of minutes to dry, so it's still workable. So pat it as much as you can. If you need to, add a little bit more on top to cover up any dents that may have happened from you getting lint or hair or anything else like that out of your acrylic. And here I'm just building up the nail a little bit. As you can see when I was turning it, the nail is very curved, which is kind of hard to avoid depending on the tips that you use and how long of a length that you go. Doing an XL length with these tips, it created a natural curve, and I didn't want the curve to be too exaggerated, so I built up a little bit of acrylic on the end to make it a little more straight. It does still curve, but it's not so dramatic. Now I'm just going to go in with my K-Star bit and clean the nail up, and then have my client wash her hands and top coat, and here's our final product. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next video.